Hello, gorgeous people, and welcome to another TV Central one-on-one podcast. I'm Aaron Ryan. The Voice on Channel 7 and 7 Plus had another big season, and the grand finale is upon us. The 2023 grand finalists are Ezra Williams from Team Jess, Taryn Stokes from Team Rita, Charlie Pittman from Team Guy, and Ethan Beckton from Team Jason. In these bite-sized podcasts, I chat to each finalist and ask each artist the same 5 questions. I will then chat to the winner after the grand final for a full interview. This is episode 58, 2023. Each artist has released a new original track ahead of the finale, which you can now listen to. Charlie Pittman has the new single, Stone Cold. Charlie Pittman joins me now ahead of the grand finale here at TV Central. Charlie, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
All right, let's get down to the 5 questions. First up, tell me about growing up and how this passion for music ignited.
For sure. Yeah, I grew up in a not very musical household at all to an accountant dad and a school nurse mother. And so it was a bit of a shock when I sort of told them that I wanted to be a musician full time. And I think what got me into music originally was actually watching musicals. That was like the biggest thing where I saw people on stage performing and I thought, oh, and then it kind of clicked to me that there's so many different things you can do with music. And I started listening to artists like John Mayer and Ed Sheeran growing up and Shawn Mendes and other artists that were kind of blowing up when I was a teenager, and I thought I want to do that. And so I taught myself how to play piano, taught myself how to play guitar, just purely so I could write songs and cover my favorite artists. And yeah, from there decided that this is what I want to do full time.
It's actually quite inspiring hearing these different stories, because you've obviously said that kind of you're the only one musically in your family, whereas when I spoke to Taryn, like everyone in her family sings. It's a big musical family, so it's really interesting that. So what was the motivation for coming on The Voice?
Yeah, it was kind of two massive reasons, really. The first being that I've been releasing music for the last few years now, and I've been writing for other artists for years, but it's not something that's sustainable for me to be able to, live. At the moment, I have to have a couple of other jobs just to sort of get by and pay my rent. But music's what I want to be doing full time. So I thought The Voice would be an amazing platform just to get my music in front of a whole new audience who wouldn't be able to see me otherwise. And then another reason why The Voice Australia specifically was a big reason was trying to get back to my own roots. I was born in Australia, and it's always been a country I've wanted to go back to. And my father was Australian, and he was diagnosed with cancer back in 2020. And we managed to make a trip over to Australia in 2022, and we kind of sat there with my auntie and my dad, and they said, "Oh, you just apply for The Voice. Like, go for it. It'll get you, get yourself in front of a new audience, and if it blows up, you get a fan base in Australia, and you can move over here." And I honestly just like filled out the application and didn't give it a second thought. And then a few months later, heard back from the team and had the Zoom auditions, etc. And unfortunately, he passed away in 2023, kind of just before I found out I would be going on the show. But he knew it was sort of in the works and stuff. And so I guess a big part of it was, trying to honor him in some respect. But it's definitely not the main reason. The biggest reason is I want to be an artist, and I want to do this full time. And especially in Australia, because I want to live here.
It's interesting how some stories can be sad and beautiful at the same time. So, what did you learn from your voice experience? I mean, also from your coach, and how that experience will help you move forward as an artist in the future.
Yeah, definitely. I think the biggest thing for me was like trying to trust myself and knowing that what I do as an artist is enough. I think going into the process, especially on Team Guy, listening to everyone else singing and stuff. I remember going into our first callback session. I think it was Marley singing "You'll Never Walk Alone" at 8 a.m. and he's hitting these notes I've never heard a singer sing, and some runs. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm not going to be getting through very far in this process then. But something the guy sort of kept saying to me was, look, you might not be the biggest singer, you might not be, doing all these crazy runs, etc. But what you do is authentically you, and it connects with people, and you tell a story. And that's always what I try and do in my music anyway. It's lyrics are so important. It's telling a story. And so trusting that that was enough and I didn't need to do all these other things was something that I really learned and something that I definitely carry with me in my career, trying to, sort of stay in my lane, do my thing. And it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but I think I can try and find an audience with that at least.
Yeah. What can we expect from you in the voice finale?
The voice finale, it might not be 6 meters off the floor, but the sets are still crazy. I'll be doing a duet with Guy. We're doing Torn. Obviously another iconic song, another iconic Australian song as well. But we've switched it up a whole lot. I think Guy's pitched me the song was, look, I want to have a jam with you. I want to look like we're just jamming on stage. And so there's about 4 instruments on stage. Guy's playing a couple of keyboards and synths, and I'm playing a drum pad and electric guitar and singing and trying to, switch it up. We're doing harmonies. It's torn how you haven't heard it before, for sure. But we love the version. It's a really cool version, I think.
Wow, this is exciting. This sounds good. All these instruments and everyone playing. Wow, this is awesome.
Yeah,
Everyone
no,
loves Torn as well. So looking forward to that. I suppose that different version, like you said. Um, Moving past The Voice, if fans were to continue to follow your career, what kind of artist are you, and what kind of sound vibe will you showcase? Because I ask that because some artists can be quite different to what they were on The Voice. Some are the same. So what can we expect?
definitely. Um, yeah, it's really interesting you asked that. I think a big thing for me doing the voice was that I do stuff that isn't a million miles away from the stuff that I would want to be doing afterwards. And I think that was why I was so grateful, doing the show with Guy, because he listened to me and he listened to my original stuff that I'm sort of getting ready to release and thought, okay, we'll include that in the stuff that you're doing now. And so that the fan base I've built up can be sort of connected to that in some way. And so I, before the show, recorded an EP, 5-track EP with a producer called Jack Wilson, who is in a band called Fickle Friends, who have done some work in England and they blew up a little bit in America a few years ago. And I've been sat on these songs for about a year and a half, and the songs are, I'd say they're like a indie pop, indie rock vibe, not dissimilar to the likes of, say, Holly Humberstone, Laney, the 1975. It's quite a band feel and quite a live sound sort of feel. There's a lot of drums, a lot of guitars, and yeah, I'm super excited to release the tracks after the show.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Well, yeah, looking forward to hearing more of you as your career unfolds, regardless of the outcome on Sunday, but certainly wishing you the best of luck. And thank you for joining me here at TV Central.
Thanks so much for having me.
All right, that was Charlie Pittman, grand finalist of The Voice 2023. You can see The Voice grand finale on Sunday, the 8th of October, 2023 at 7 p.m. on Channel 7 and 7 Plus. Well, that's it for this podcast. For all the latest news, streaming reports, ratings, television guides, and podcasts, head to TV Central at tvcentral.com.au. Until next time, I'm Aaron Ryan. Thanks to Charlie Pittman. Bye for now.